All right, as we mentioned before, the brain and the spinal cord are actually one continuous organ. So we have to have some way of totally protecting that organ from the cranial cavity as it goes through the dorsal cavity where the spine is. And so we do that by these vertebrae, and each vertebrae has to be slightly different and have a different total curvature so that everything fits together and the nervous system is protected while also given the flexibility that it needs. And in class, in the lecture, we'll talk some about the intervertebral discs that are a special kind of joint, a special kind of cartilage that allows the articulation of the bone with the cartilage and certain amounts of movement. But the other main feature that we have to have is have some differences between each vertebrae. So when we're closer to the neck, we actually have to have these additional foramina. You don't have to know the names of these for lab, but you can see them here and here on either side. And that allows some additional things to pass through other than just the spinal cord in the middle there in the vertebral foramen. But we also have to have a different shape that's unique to the first two. We call these the atlas and the axis. And they actually fit together quite nicely. You can remember atlas axis because they're in alphabetical order. So atlas is C1 or cervical 1, and axis is C2 or cervical 2. The axis actually has this little bump that sticks out, this little ridge, and it's lacking these little side foramina in addition to the vertebral foramen. And so you can actually look, if you see these two vertebrae and you're looking through and you think this doesn't really match, it's not really a cervical, a thoracic, or a lumbar vertebrae, it's probably because it's the atlas or the axis. And we'll spend more time actually for the lecture exam talking about the differences in the atlas and the axis rather than for the lab.